Hello and welcome to the Spy Flight on YouTube. We are going to do some in-cockpit camera views and custom keyboard settings and look at the PMDG 777 cargo liner and my custom cold and dark settings. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Dave. I do the live spy flights on YouTube and Twitch, and I also every now and then like to pop in here and do one of my how-to videos about how it is that I'm making the airplane work. So what are we doing today? This should be pretty simple. We're going to clear and set the keyboard view bindings. I'll show you how I set mine up. You don't have to do it this way. This is just what works for me. We're also going to set up some number pad views as well. And then we're going to preset the PMDG cockpit and payload buttons. After that, we're going to set a personal PMDG custom cold and dark setting. Really pretty easy to do, so we'll get those things going. Let's hop on into the cockpit here. I've just fired up Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've got the brand new PMDG 777 cargo liner. We're at Munich Airport, so we got a nice lifty cargo all ready to go. And this is walk around mode. So this is total cold and dark zone here for us, and this is how the airplane should start up for you too. Okay, so let's go ahead, and to get out of walk around mode, it is of course Shift C. Now it's going to go dark here, especially as you're just getting the airplane started the first time. And notice down there, see how the yoke is kind of tilted off to one side? The airplane's still kind of figuring itself out, resetting some things. But you'll notice now all of a sudden things are powering up here. That is the startup that PMDG ships the airplane with. I'll show you how it is that I set mine up in just a minute, but the first thing we need to do is look at how it is that I move around the cockpit. If you've watched the live stream, you've seen that I've got my main cockpit view, I got my upper panel view, I've got my close instruments view, I've got the autopilot view, the McDo or the FMS view, radio view, the cockpit over, and then we've also got some wing views as well too, and then of course down to the electronic flight bag or the universal flight tablet. So I can get around the cockpit really, really fast, and if you're in a really big VATSIM event and you need to move around the cockpit fast, setting up these quick views is a really, really cool way to go. So y'all ready to get started? Let's go ahead and jump in, and this is here's the plan today. So first thing, we're going to clear and set keyboard view bindings. We're also going to set the number pad views. I'll show you that. We're going to preset the PMDG cockpit payload and then save a personal PMDG custom cold and dark setting. And let's start off with the number pad map. Okay, so this is the little map that I've got, and this is how it is that I get around the cockpit. So the 0 key on the number pad is my main flying view. After that, number 1 is the flight control unit or the autopilot. Number 2 is the McDo or the FMC. Number 3 is always my communications radios, the comms radios. If you're on VATSIM, you're always switching a frequency. Number 4 is the primary flight display, the navigation display. 5 is the upper panel. 6 is an overall cockpit view. Wing views are 7 and 9. And then the EFB or the iPad is number 8. And I try to set all of my airplanes up exactly like that. And most of the time, I found that it works out pretty good for me as well. Okay, so how do we find all of this? Well, first of all, we're going to have to go into settings. And this is where you're going to find it. It's basically settings, keyboard, camera, and cockpit camera. Okay, you got all that? Let's hop on into the cockpit and see if you can find it. First step, escape button. This is going to get us outside the cockpit, and this is where we can go and do the settings and stuff like that. Ready? So settings. And the next thing we're going to want to do is go to controls. With controls, it's going to take a second. The little thing's going to sit there and spin a bit, and I've noticed it seems to take a little bit longer. Maybe it's because I've got an awful lot of things plugged in. You know, a tiller, the controller, I've got the throttles and everything. Maybe it's just taking a long time to read these things. But once it's there, you want to come over here on the device list and hit keyboard. I already had it selected, but let's just make sure that we're doing the right thing here, because it's easy to mess up some of these keyboard controls, and you don't really want to do that. So keyboard, spin, spin, spin. Boy, we love watching it spin, spin, spin. And now we have our selections. With the mouse thumb wheel, the mouse wheel, let's just click down, 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 and we're going to look for the camera. Hey, look at that. There it is, camera. Click the camera. And then the next thing we want is the cockpit camera. Okay, and now all of a sudden we're here. So I've gone in and I've cleaned out a bunch of stuff. You might want to clean out a few things here too, but let's just use that mouse wheel again, and we're going to keep going down here, going down, down, down. Here's the first things that I want to do, and that is over here. Decrease cockpit view height and increase cockpit view height. These are some of the things that I want to go and set here. So what we're going to do is decrease, increase. I'm going to change those key bindings to the page up and page down, and you might have to delete other page up and page downs if you want to use my keyboard scheme, but I haven't found the need for the other page up and page down buttons, so it's working really, really well for me. So what I've gone and done is I've gone and switched decrease cockpit view height to the page down button on the keyboard. Increase cockpit view height is page up, and I've cleared out the other stuff. Continuing on the way down, you know, most of our keyboards, they've got an up arrow, a down arrow, a right arrow, and a left arrow. Well, one of the things is I've changed the translate cockpit view backwards, forwards, left, and right. So translating, that's your eyes are right here, and now you're going to go and slide over there or over there. So they call that translating, and I'm going to clear out the old controls, and I'm going to go up, down, right, and left. And so we're going to go and set those buttons up. Next thing, you might need to go and clear out some other ones too. Again, you can see I've cleared all of my stuff out. I don't miss the other buttons, so it seems to be working for me. Next thing let's go and do is let's talk about the custom cameras. So you've got 10 custom camera views in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you're an old flight simmer like me, you know that we used to call them quick views over an X-plane, but they call them custom camera views, and we have 10 of them. So what I did is they came with, you know, a shift this and alt that, and I need to move around a little bit faster. I need to just hit one button. So I cleared out all the old stuff, and you can see load custom camera is now the number 0, just the number 0 on the number pad. And I've done the same thing. So camera 1 is number 1, number 2 is number 2, number 3 is number 3. Again, I don't miss the things that I've cleared out in the past, and you could probably go in and create a new profile or a backup if you wanted to, just to, you know, if you don't like my settings. The next thing to do is come down here, and there is save custom cameras 0 through 9. Now this I do control and then the number button. Control and number 1 for camera number 1. So these just generally correspond and work really, really well together. And then go back. Now you can come down in here and you can make some general controls. I haven't created anything special because one of the things that I like when it's stuff like this is I want these to work the same way for all of my airplanes. Whether it's a 777 or a Cessna 150, I want my camera views to be easily set, and it works really pretty good for me. So once you've got that set up, we're going to go back, and it's going to say save and go back, and it's going to spin a little bit. This is taking a little bit longer. I'm almost wondering if it's going out onto the cloud or something like that to go and get some settings. I'm not sure. I've noticed it takes a little bit longer now. And now we're going to save and go back, and those settings should be good, so we're going to go and resume. And now, if you've set your buttons up like mine, you can translate back, translate forward with the arrow buttons, translate left, translate right, look up, look down, and all that. Okay? So we've got those sorts of things. So the first thing that I'm going to say is go ahead and find your perfect Captain, I'm going to land the airplane view. And that's pretty much what it is that I've got right here. My view's right out there. This is, I think, the view right here that the airplane comes with is the main view. This is the one that I like. So I can see all of my instruments, a little bit of the autopilot, and I've got a big view right outside the window. The next view that I'm going to do is I'll do my, what I call big instruments. And so we can translate forward, translate down, and we'll slide over here. Now you could also use your mouse to change the tilt just a little bit too, so it's more straight up and down. And now I can see my clock, I can see the primary flight display, the navigation display, and I can see the backup right there. And so to set my view, I'm going to hit Control and number 4, and there is my big instruments view. Then I'll go back to my main view. Now we'll look up here. So the way that I would have started this is I would start my main view, and then I'll go and use my mouse to drag my view up like this. And there is the view, just kind of the captain looking up like that. And I kind of like to maybe see a little bit more. I'm a sim pilot, so I'm going to go and maybe move this down just a little bit so I can see a little bit more there. And there's a pretty good view. If I need to, I can come up here so I can get to the aileroo, but I only need to hit the aileroo when we're starting the airplane. That's the navigation alignment. I only need to do the window heat when we're starting up the airplane and the emergency lights. So my upper view, I've got the APU, I've got the hydraulics, I've got the fuel pumps, I've got the lights, and the very, very important seatbelt sign. So we've got all that. That's going to be Control 5 for me, and that's my upper view. Same thing, and you just kind of go through and set those up. And again, I do suggest, if you can, if you like what it is that I do, hit pause on the video right here on YouTube, make it full screen, and do a screen grab of that. That way you can create a copy of that image and then change it any way that you might like to, and that might help you out just a little bit. So now we've got all of our views. Let's say for wing views on this airplane, you can walk all the way back into the cabin. So we can go and walk back into the cabin here. And we'll open that up. Open that up. So you can just walk. And again, I'm using the translate button. And oh my gosh, look at that. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Well, we need to unload the airplane. See, the airplane comes fully loaded. We don't need to do that, but you can just come on all the way back here, and I'm going to make it a little bit faster, and this is as we walk all the way back. That gets me a wing view. So we can look out, see the engine, see the wing. I've also set one on the right side of the aircraft behind the wing too. And again, all you have to do is hit the translate button. Hey, look at that. It's right by the Aston Martin DB5. Very cool, the 007 car in this. Okay, so we've got, let's say we've got all those done. What's the next thing that we're going to need to do? Well, we've changed that. We've changed our cockpit view height. We've changed the translate. We've changed all of the custom camera bindings. We've set them. So I think we're ready to move on to the next thing. This is the PMDG personal startup settings that I do. When I get in the airplane, I want things to be cold and dark. So how are we going to do this? Step one, we're going to go and select menu. We're going to go to load state, cold and dark, and execute. Okay, this should be pretty easy to do. So McDo view, and we're going to go to PMDG setup, and we're going to go to state load, line select key R2, right 2, and it says cold and dark, and execute it. Now we're going to have to sit and wait for a while because it's going to go read the file and totally change everything. And in fact, you really can't move after you do that. But now the airplane is completely off. Everything's off in the airplane except for I almost called it the electronic flight bag, the EFB. This is the Universal Flight Tablet from PMDG. That's going to still be on, but everything else is off. Except their cold and dark settings have a couple of things that I would rather have off. So what we're going to do next after all of this is we're going to turn off the transponder to standby, and I'm going to turn off my nav light switch because I want to turn that on myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. One of the things is PMDG's cold and dark has the transponder switch already on. So when you log on to VATSIM, you can see that our transponder is going to be squawking 2000 on Terra already. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn it to standby, okay? So now that's on standby. That's where I think it should probably be when the real pilots get in. The other thing that PMDG has on is the nav lights. They automatically come on and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the nav lights off, and I'm going to come over to no smoking, and I'm going to turn that off as well. So I've got a lot more of the switches basically in the off position. Now there's a few other things like the engine hydraulic switches and a few things over here on the pneumatics. I'm just going to leave those on for right now, but eventually as I learn more and more about this airplane, I'm going to start turning more and more things off so that I can turn them all on. Now another thing that you might do is on the airplane, let's say we were flying a passenger plane and I was going to be doing the passenger 777. Well, one of the things that PMDG did that was a really good idea is they went and they have the jetway automatically going to the second door from the front on the left side, which is where the airlines are going to have people get on, so that, you know, they're not walking past the first class people and they can get more people in the back too. So they automatically, so one of the things I might do is also have my setup with that L2 door open. This is a cargo airplane. We'll open our own doors, so we don't need to do that. But you might also go and turn a few other things on, like maybe ground power. And also, you probably also noticed that this airplane is also loaded. As much as I like James Bond's 007, the Aston Martin DB5 here, I don't want the airplane loaded. We're going to load it ourselves. So what we need to do is come in here, and this is the next step. We're going to clear the payload. How do we do that? Well, the first thing you have to do is, even though the airplane is in cold and dark mode right now, you can turn on the pilot's FMS here, flight management system. You can turn it on by clicking and holding the menu button. So click, hold, 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 and now that's on. It only takes about 3 seconds. And now we get to go and do PMDG setup stuff. So we're going to go and hit setup. And, no, we don't want to do this. We are going to do PMFS actions, flight simulator actions. There we go. So the first thing that I'd like to do is I would like to go and hit fuel. No, I want to hit payload. Sorry, payload. And I'm going to go and I'm going to hit the set empty button. I want to empty out the airplane. Do you see how it kind of moved down a little bit? Because we went and we emptied out the airplane. Let's go back and see if the DB5 is back in the back cabin here. Oh, look at that. Our airplane is empty, as it should be. How about that? So the airplane's empty now, all ready for us to load it up. Okay? So we got that one done. Now, the next thing that I might do, so let's go and return. Right now, the fuel, I've got 20,000 pounds of fuel aboard. That's probably okay. You could go and set something like maybe the airplane's gotten to the gate with 12. Maybe you'd like to, you know, when you get there, the last pilot's left 12,000 pounds of fuel in. So you could set your fuel to about 12. That would be maybe at the end of a long flight, and return. And then the last thing that maybe I'd kind of like to have is ground power already available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to request ground power, and ground power is now connected. And you can see that if you go outside the airplane, and if you look down here, you know, that's probably not the best way to do it. Let's go to walk around mode. So here we are in walk around mode, and you see right here, we've got the little ground power thing here. Here, we'll kind of come over there. So we got the little ground cable right there, and ground power is available. So that's in there. Let's go back into the cockpit now. So now we've got ground power is now in. Let's see, air starter, air conditioning. I don't think we care about anything else in this. Since this is a cargo liner, maybe I'm going to turn off jetway mode. We're going to go to stairs mode on this one. And that's it. We're not going to do anything else. We do have the wheel chocks in. Let's go ahead and we've got wheel chocks. And now we're going to return. And that's probably pretty good. We're going to go back to the menu. And now we're going to go to the next step. So we've already gone and we've set up the airplane the way we want it set up. Now it's time for us to go and save the new custom startup. So we're going to select PMDG startup, panel save, give it a file name, and then make it our default start. Okay? pretty easy to do. So what we'll do is now we're going to go to PMDG setup. And now what we'll do is panel state save. So let's go and hit panel state, and you got to give it a file name. My file name that I use in PMDG and for everything is spy. So let's call that spy, and let's hit execute. Saving panel state. So we're going to go ahead and wait for that to be done. And we'll wait, 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 and we'll listen to music, and we'll wait, and we'll wait, and we'll wait. Okay, let's have a beverage here. Okay, it's saving the panel state. Okay, let's order some pizza. Okay, pepperoni, deep dish style. Breadsticks. Yeah, breadsticks. We're gonna do breadsticks. That'll be good. Marinara sauce. Hey, okay, we're good to go there. So it has been successfully saved to spy. Let's come on back here. Now we're gonna go startup state. I'm gonna go Sierra Papa Yankee, and I'm gonna put that in there. And let's hit spy. Maybe I need to not type it in like that. Let's hit spy. Oh, and then we have to hit execute. Uh-oh. Okay, look at that. Startup state is now spy. So now, whenever we go and start the airplane, it should start up just like this. And hopefully that's going to work. So one of the things that we could do is we could hit escape. Let's hit main menu, and let's do main menu. And let's test out our theory and see how it works. So we're back over here. We're going to go back into free flight. Let's go, and we're going to go back to EDDM, back to München. And there we go. And we'll zoom on in. Let's go back to Lufty Cargo Land. Get ourselves a departure point. And start the flight. And we get to sit and wait. Okay, let's see. All right, credit card number, blah, 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 blah. Delivery time, immediate, blah, 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 blah. Oh, good. We're almost got our pizza ordered here. So now let's see what we have here. So there's the airplane. We're just waiting for it to say fly now. So let's go ahead and wait for fly. Okay, there it is. It says ready to fly. And let's go ahead and hit ready to fly. And we're in walk around mode. So let's look over there. Let's see. Is the little thingy? I don't see the little power thing. Did I mess that up? Did that not work out so well? I don't see the little power thing there. So that might not have worked well for us. Let's go in the cockpit and see what it looks like. Now it's still gonna go dark for a little bit. And you see the yoke, it's kind of tilted off to the side. So let's wait for it to reset itself. Okay. Well, as we look through the cockpit here, everything's off. Hey, everything's off. Let's check a few things. How about the transponder? Is the transponder squawking Terra, or is it squawking standby? It's squawking standby. Okay, that worked. Let's look up here. We've got ground power plugged in. See, it says available. That actually did work. And we've also got the nav lights are off, and the no smoking light is off too. So we've got a custom startup here. Let's go back into the cockpit here, into the cabin, and let's see if it's still empty. If it's still empty, then you know what? I'm going to guess. Look at that. How about that? So not only do we have our camera views exactly the way we want that. Oh, if you look inside here, now let's go back outside. Hang on a sec. Let's go into walk around mode. Come on over here and look at that. There is the ground power thing. It appeared there. And you can see the cables are there too. So all is right with the world. It worked. It absolutely worked, and we've got a cold and dark, and you've got all of those things. So my hope is that maybe that worked out, and you should be able to set up camera views the way you like them, and it worked for all of your airplanes. And now we've got a really, really nice cold and dark. I think that's just going to be outstanding. This is going to be pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I hope that this works for you too. I actually want to go and do a flight now with the new settings. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, let me a quick reminder about my videos. It's never about the right way versus the wrong way. In this case, this is simply what works for me in a simulated world. Yes, I want to fly my airplanes just like the real pilots, but some things in the sim just don't work like they do in the real world. So this is what works for me. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and if you did, please join me over on the Spy Flight. It's Thursdays through Mondays now. Our departure time's 1900 Zulu, except on Mondays it's 1800 Zulu, and we're kind of getting ready to back up most of our departure times by about an hour. I'm on Twitch and YouTube at 757 Spy, and also, if you are interested, I've got daily pre-flight videos with a little bit of weather geeky stuff going on each day before the Spy Flight, and that's over on Patreon. The name is 757 Spy, and I hope you'll come on over. I really do hope that you enjoyed what it is that was going on here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please stay healthy, stay safe. I can't wait to see you in the friendly sim skies in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thanks for watching, and have a really, really great flight.